you all so much for stopping by today. So I wanted to make this video to share with you when you should start a garden. But I just wanted to talk to you really quick and give you a backstory as to why I'm even making this video and telling you when you should start. So if you haven't heard my story, my grandmother had such a beautiful garden. I really think it should have been on a magazine cover. But those just were not the times back then. She really nurtured and cared for that garden. And then in the back of the storage house that still sits there today, she had a vegetable garden. And while I started out gardening as a hobby to keep me busy, to occupy my time, for her and our family, that was a necessity back then. It was to supplement because my grandparents were on a fixed income, and I would always hear my grandmother say, "This stuff keep going up higher and higher." And I don't understand how all of the grandkids got into that car, but on Saturdays we would go to the grocery store with my grandparents, and so that was the talk in the grocery store. Is as she picked up stuff, she was just saying, it was just crazy how they keep going up. But when you're not working and you're a child, you don't quite understand that. Everything looked the same to me when like when she last bought it. So I didn't understand inflation back then, but I guarantee you I understand it right now. So fast forward, I garden out of like a hobby, having something to do, also to supplement our income. But I will put some video up because I'm known to be in the store, because a lot of times I tell my family this stuff and they don't believe me until they go themselves. But I took a video of like the produce department, and I'm like, what is going on? Like, I don't know if the truck's not here or what's going on, but this ain't right. So that is one of the reasons why I wanted to kind of expand this year and amp up the garden, to supplement some of those things that we like to eat. But let's fast forward, because I don't want you to think that you have to just grow vegetables, because we grow a combination of them here: vegetables, flowers, and herbs. We have them all in our garden. But if you were to ask me when you should start a garden, I would probably say last week or a month ago. But let's just be real. You need to start a garden. You need to start a garden right now. Now, if you're under blankets and blankets of snow, then take this time to plan a garden. Take this time to ask your family, what do they like? A lot of people reach out to me via social media or email, and they're not sure where to start. They're not sure what to plant. And so I always tell them, plant something that you like, that you would enjoy looking at every single day. That's a good way to get started. And don't have the concept of that you need a lot of space in order to grow, because while we were staying overseas, over half of the places that we stayed in, they did not have a yard. It was a very, very small patio on some places that we stayed in, but I got creative. So you can grow in containers. You can just use your imagination and just grow something, because that's what I did. Even with the places overseas that didn't have like a garden center, I have to thank my husband, because he is one of those people that will learn the area no matter where we go. That's why I know a lot of different places and shortcuts now, just by riding with him. But we would always find places. It was a big language barrier, but that didn't stop me from going in to look. And if I seen something that looked like seeds, didn't know what the writing said, but the picture was enough for me to go home and plant seeds. We later found little small garden centers. It's nothing like the garden centers and the big box stores that we have now. It's just like, like a hardware store in the cut or something like that. But once we found it, honey, they became my friends too. They didn't know it, but they were my friends. But I want you to get started now. I want you to plan now. If you're not able to plant anything right now, think of 1 to 3 things that you want to plant. Decide if you want to start them from seed, or decide if you want to just let the garden centers grow it, and then once it gets a certain size, you can just come home and plant it. But I want you to get started like today. Okay, get started with something today. If you don't have a lot of time, then think about growing an herb that you use a lot, an herb that you may cook a lot with, or if you drink tea, an herb that you may make a tea with, or even just to brush your hands and to like rub it. Just think about something like that, because herbs are very easy to grow and don't take a lot of time. I mean, you're still gonna have to water it, you're still gonna have to nurture it, but I will tell you, and I'm not going to sugarcoat anything, there's some plants that are really that are what I consider needy, and they need coddling, and they need talking to, and they need, extra special attention. So if you're not able to plant like right now, decide what you want to grow. Take a few minutes to research the growing conditions of the plant that you are looking forward to grow, so that way you can kind of figure out where at your place that you want to plant it. Think about where you're going to put it at. Go ahead and get the necessary things for it. So if you're going to plant it in a pot, you don't have a pot, go ahead and get a pot now. Go ahead and get some soil now, so that if you're not going to start it from seed and you're going to go to the garden center and get it, you'll have everything, and you will be ready, and you'll know some information about that plant. And then what I also want to encourage you is, I'm going to leave a link in the description. Go there. We have tons of free resources, specifically our free ebook, The 5 Tips to a Flourishing Garden. Go ahead and download that and learn the basics of what you need in order to start and grow and maintain a successful garden, because there are certain things that you have to think about just to set yourself up to be able to grow successfully. And then we also have other free resources on there, and we also have paid resources on there if you're ready to dive a little bit deeper. We have the Seed Starting Masterclass, we have the Grow Academy, we have the Ready Set Grow course, we have the Pest Control course, and then we're going to be adding more courses in the coming month, so that you can just do like a fast track instead of a lot of trial and error. Because let me tell you, over the last 20 years, honey, I have done a lot of trial and error, and I'm still doing trial and error with new plants that I want to test out and grow. But these courses are like fast track. They're fast track to get you growing, especially with the conditions that I'm seeing here. Again, even if you just pick one thing, pick what you like and grow it and learn from it. Journal, have a garden journal, and then make notes so that you'll know. You can look back during those winter months when you're not able to grow. You can look back and see what could you have done different, what could you change, and then also what else can I grow for where I'm at. So to answer your question, the time to start growing is right now. If you haven't started last week, if you're not able to physically grow right now because the temperatures don't allow it, go ahead, get a notebook, get a journal, start writing in there, start planning out, start thinking about something that you want to grow, and get ready for the upcoming garden season.